students are reading the books or not. So every component, and that is what is called self-study. You do your own study. Nobody is going to come and say that you do your own self-study, let your teachers do it. There is a format. It is all digitized format. You fill your own information, you do your own analysis. If you feel that you are doing everything all right, then you go back to the NAC and say that we are now ready. Nobody is making it compulsory. Then the peer team comes. The peer team's job is to see that whatever you have written is correct. And they will check. If you are saying that, okay, my system is perfectly working. In our system, what happens when the NAC team is coming, and that is good thing at least has happened. Everybody wants to paint the building. At least the management is spending money now in painting the buildings. But there is much more than that. Toilets, very important. You ask me why? I will tell you, many of you are near Ahmedabad. Go 300 kilometers from the Ahmedabad, any rural college. There are no toilets for women, girl students. I'm not telling any lie. Because as a chairperson, I have gone into the smallest of the small city, town, village, and then I started special grant for ladies' toilets, special grant for girl students. Just imagine any rural college, where from the students come? They come from 30, 40 kilometers. And they come by bus. So that girl leaves the home maybe at 6 o'clock in the morning. And if she is an art student, she goes back home by 1 o'clock or 1:30. For 7-8 hours, that girl has no proviso to use the toilet. What is the crime we are doing? Men are different, boys. So, all this becomes important. Otherwise, how do you expect that child to be attentive in the classroom? And these are the ground realities of our nation. We are in big cities, probably you don't feel, but even in big cities, my lady faculty members will support me. Go to the ladies' toilets and see how clean they are. Or even to the gents' toilets. Does it require a huge amount of money? No. It requires just good management, good governance. That is also a part of NAC's process. All this is important. You see, you've all felt, Professor Choksi said one thing. He visited this place, when he saw the hall, he felt this is the best place to hold the workshop. Why did you feel this? Because you felt this keeps your mind alert, vibrant, good facilities. Why cannot we have this in my college? We may not have air-conditioned thing, but at least we can keep clean. We may not have carpet, but at least the floor is cleaned. All this requires nothing but good governance and management. This doesn't require money. Of course it requires money, but it is not huge money that is required. And that is where assessment and accreditation judgment finally starts coming. So it's a two-step approach. Institutions' eligibility for quality assessment. So when you do the self-study and when you send it, NAC first looks, are you really eligible for quality assessment today? Or you need to do internal change yourself. So the NAC first tells you, okay, these are the gaps, why don't you fill it and then come back to us. In fact, it is something very useful process. Because when we are looking ourselves, we don't realize all those things. But now when I start talking and you sit as a principal, you will realize that tomorrow you will go and check everything. I'm 100% sure. You will walk into the library, you will walk to the toilet room, you will see that, what is happening. That is why the first step. The second step, if you are happy, You are submitted the report, then the assessment activities, and the peer committee will come and do all its job. So there are 7 criteria, and there is a differential weightage given. 7 criteria, I'm not giving all those, you go to the, but all this contains everything, and different weightage is given. Of course, toilet is not going to get a higher weightage. But environment is, certainly academic environment is very important. Academic activities are extremely important. Teaching is also important, but everything has got certain weightage. And based on that weightage and every indicator, the weightage is checked. And then it is a cumulative grade which is found out. It's the averaging out that. So it's called cumulative grade point average. And then you are put into A or B or C category. It's a grouping. But this is not something which will look at these 7 points. Curriculum, teaching research, infrastructure, student support, governance leadership, I talked of innovative practice. So many people ask, in a college, what is that research we are supposed to do? I think this is where we have to, moment I think of research word, everybody thinks Einstein. We need not be Einstein. There is lot of research in teaching process itself. Pedagogy of teaching needs lot of research. Suppose I have to use computer in the classroom. I have to use learning object in the classroom. All this is research. Need not teachers do fundamental core physics research or chemistry research? If that is done, it's good. But we must tell to the teachers, even teaching methodology, learning methodology, assessment, all this, if we do work on that, that is also a research. In fact, if you go to the UGC's guidelines, I did that change. I said that if teacher has developed 3 learning objects, it should be treated as one research paper. You see the 10th plan guideline. That is 3 learning objects independently. Today now, you can download everything free. So cultivation of academic structure is also very important, and all other things I have talked. I'm not going to go into details because the time is running, but these are the criteria and the advantage I have written. Lot of limitations which were earlier now written. It is user friendly, inter-team assessment variation. All this is taken care in this new methodology. So finally, it is for us as the managers of education to see that there is a quality. I'm going to end my lecture by 2 incidences of 1994. Because when I was developing all these instruments and methods and all those, I don't know how many of you remember also our teacher. I wrote personal letters to 3,60,000 teachers. Every letter personally signed went, and I have received a lot of replies asking that how are we going to go forward. That is not important, but at that time there were 134 universities in our country. Now it is 400. I visited 87 of those universities, and there were 6,800 colleges. Now it is 18,000 colleges. I visited 2,400 colleges before this instrument was developed, and I was interacting with students, teachers, telling them that this is quality, this is important, what are your suggestions and all that sort of thing, and why we should do. But I'm giving you 2 incidences. I'm not going to tell the names of those universities. One from south, one from north. In the south, I went to a university and deliver like this what I'm interacting, but at that time I was developing, so I was seeking their views. So all the teachers from it was in the university, so all the postgraduate departments teachers were there, about 350, and the vice chancellor was chairing. So he introduced me and he said yes, he's going to talk on quality, new things, this is going to come. So I started talking, 15-20 minutes.